Everybody, welcome to this TTC interview. My guest today, the finally long-awaited TheAtrain. And first off, before we start this interview, I'd like to say congrats on the Most Improved Award. You won at the TTC Awards last night.
Yes, I did.
Long-awaited, and now you finally got an award. So
Yeah, finally. It's great and everything. A lot of people were against TTC Awards last night, and I
yeah,
completely understand their reasoning and everything. I respect their opinion as long as they respect mine. I worked my ass off.
yeah,
I had 200 subscribers going into this year, and I have 100, and I've added 145 to that in less than 6 months.
yeah.
So that's why I got this, and that's why people voted for me. I have much respect for everybody out there that has their own opinion about the whole thing, and I get that and I understand that at the same time. But I won. Don't rain on my parade.
So T. Spence isn't going to be doing the award show next year. So who are some good candidates you feel that could do a good job at award shows?
Man, shit. That's a good question. Man, I got one name comes to mind right now. This guy that's been kind of against the TTC Awards. I think Joe Rock would do a good job. Uh,
Mm,
I think Joe Rock could. I think Cali Blue could. I think even MacMan
yeah.
70 could.
Oh yeah.
Um, even you. I think you
Yeah.
could. I mean, uh, there's so many good vid makers out there that could really bring a TTC award show together. Because it takes a lot of editing, a lot of time. Um, and I think those guys, and there's a lot more others that I can't remember their names, and I apologize. That's what happens when you get older. Um, but
I
there's a
feel
lot of people out there that can make a good award show.
I feel that for the award show, I think it should be like every year somebody else different does it. That's what I feel. It would
Exactly.
be like so you have more
Exactly.
variety. You get to say, all right, this guy did last year, so then you get to see, all right, which vid maker could do it this year, who could go out on top and make it better.
Yeah.
So I feel like that would
Exactly. And we had that problem a few years ago.
be,
There was the TTC committee didn't like an award that Big Gravy came up with. So
yeah,
Gravy decided, you know what, I'm going to do my own award show. It never went through or nothing.
yeah,
But, I understand, I think as well there should be new people every year. Um,
yeah,
with me, I don't know what my future holds in the TTC, but I'll never do an award show, ever.
yeah,
I'm just going to bury that now. A-Train's never doing an award show. Never.
yeah. I feel though the award shows like everybody like all complaining about the voting and stuff. It's like they couldn't see where to vote. They didn't know where to vote. So I can kind of see Joe Rock's point there, but at the same time, though, is if they knew what
Exactly,
the
so
truth
do
was.
I.
But
I see the same. I see the same thing, man. With Joe Rock and everything. I understand that.
yeah,
And
but
that's what my understanding is with everybody.
yeah, I mean, it is what it is, though. But going on to your next question is, honestly, I don't know how long it's gonna take for you guys to win one, but what do you think it's gonna take for you guys to get over the hump and win a playoff game? What do you think it's gonna take?
How did I know this question was going to come up? Uh, shit, man. I don't know. I thought it was going to be this year. I thought we had it. I was there. So, I mean,
Yeah,
uh, it sucked the way it happened. It sucked the way everything went. But at the same time, you gotta take into the fact that Marvin Lewis can't coach in a big game. I've said that for many years, and he proved it. And somehow he's still our head coach, which is bullshit.
all right, so which adds to my next question is, do you feel that in order for you guys to win the playoffs, though, do you feel that Marvin Lewis has to go?
Yes.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, just like when you saw him on TV in that game, it looked like he wasn't even motivated or anything. He was like he wasn't motivating his team. He was just standing there like he was a zombie or something.
That's what he does every game. It's
You know what I mean?
it's nothing new. That's what he does every game. He'll just stand there
I
and
honestly felt like
no
you guys
emotion,
should have just
and
yeah. I felt like you guys should have just fired him and hired Hugh Jackson as your head coach.
see, I
That
felt
would
the
have
same.
been
I felt the same way, but Cleveland got him, and the joke is right now in Cleveland they don't have a quarterback,
yeah, they're gonna
so
have to draft somebody.
they're looking to get McCarron. So if we let McCarron go to Cleveland, he does something. I'm gonna be pissed.
I think honestly the Browns are probably gonna try to draft a quarterback. They're probably gonna get either Jared Goff or Carson Wentz,
I
which
mean,
I
but
don't.
here's the thing: how many times you can draft a quarterback and still suck?
Yeah, that's their problem every year. They always draft a quarterback and get a new head coach. But what team do you feel in the TTC? What rivalry team were you most interested in doing a hate week with every week? Your rivals.
Oh man. Well, I'll start with my least. My least was the Ravens. There was nobody there except for Bob and Kevin, and I've owned them numerous times. It's not even a argument.
Yeah.
Um, my favorite, though, we actually did it this year. We didn't do it last year. Me and MacMan actually went at it this year,
Yeah.
and I felt it was really good, and also had a great battle with Frank Gambler this year. Um, but the top one has to be the Steelers. Has to be the Steelers.
Yeah.
Steelers fan base. They come out every year. Even Steel Legends makes bracket appearances still, and he comes back every now and again, and so it makes it fun. It really does. It makes it a lot of fun.
Yeah. I mean, those were pretty interesting hate weeks to watch, and then also I mean, I feel like your hate week with Jeff. It was kind of good, but then at the same time, though, when you saw that when he did the whole foreign thing, it's like you couldn't hear your voice. It would have been way more funnier if you would have heard your voice.
You see, and not a knock on Jeff, but I when I saw that, I was like, you know what, this is really bad, and I've been told him this is really bad, and I'm just gonna come back and I'm just gonna make something that's gonna make you look like a total fool, and I
Yeah,
did.
the whole editing. I think the whole he didn't edit it right enough where the volume was up high enough where you could hear your voice,
Yeah, of course, my
and then
editing was perfect for his. I
yeah,
mean, that took me 45 minutes to get that right.
yeah. But I mean, we're not trying to take shots at Jeff though. I mean, he's
No, not at all.
kind
I
of
still own you, Jeff. You'll see this. I still own you. You still bow down to me like many others this year. Just saying.
So also going on to the question is everybody in the TTC seems like every off season it's always the same thing. Do you feel that everybody in the TTC should just hang, like get used to it? It's just the off season that this ain't gonna happen once the regular season comes. That's what I that's what I kind of feel. I feel like people should just stop worrying about saying, "Oh, this is what TTC's changed and everything." But what we both know is off season everything like this happens every year. So.
It does. I mean, I've been around since 2009. I mean, a lot of things have changed, um, but at the same time, you got to adapt to the changes. There's a lot of young kids in here now.
Yeah,
Um, I've had my problems with them. I've addressed my problems with them. Uh, and I'm just going to leave it at that. Do I think it's a place for them to be in the TTC? No, I don't. But at the same time, they're going to do something to prove themselves.
yeah,
Like I had to, like T. Spence had to, like you had to.
yep,
I've been in this thing since I was 18 years old.
yeah, dude.
You know,
I was in it. I
So
was 19, so we both were pretty young. So we both still are young, but I mean we matured
yeah,
in age once the TTC is.
good job of saving yourself.
Yep. Damn, dude, it's crazy. Like you've been in it so long, I've been in it so long. I mean, we're pretty much vets now. So once the next
Oh
person
yeah,
comes along,
I've been in here eight
7 years,
years.
7, 8 years.
I
Yep.
mean, 7, 8 years.
Hmm.
It's been a long time, man. I've had a lot of fun. Um, you know, I know this is probably going to come up, but I'm just already going to say now. Are you finally going to leave, or is it finally over?
Yep.
Yes and no.
Hmm.
I've already gone to talk to people on Twitter. Um, I'm gonna be around. I'm just gonna make appearances here and there. I definitely want to do a Cowboys hate week.
Oh yeah.
I definitely want to do Steelers because the rivalry is renewed. So
Yep.
both fan bases hate each other. That's what I want to do. But I won't be around all 16 games, and
Yeah.
of course the playoffs. That's just the
Mhm.
bottom line.
Well, you've been a Bengals fan a pretty long time, and you had some pretty bad times. You've had some pretty good times. Can you name some off the top of your head that were pretty bad, real bad for you as a fan, and then name a good moment in your fan fanhood.
Uh, Pretty bad for me is when it was 2002, 2003 season. Dick LeBeau was our head coach, and we went 2-14.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Uh, Started out 0-7, I believe it was 0-7 or 0-8. Then we beat the Texans, and people were like, "Oh, winning streak!" Yeah, we won one more game that year,
Hmm.
and you know, then Marvin came in, Carson Palmer got drafted, and within 2 years we were in the playoffs in his third season. So, I mean, I've had some great times, but the bad has always outweighed the good here in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, when you're bad for 15 straight years, you become the laughing stock of the NFL. It's what we were.
Yeah.
Now we're the laughing stock of the playoffs when you ask everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, 5 straight years to the playoffs and you haven't won one.
Mhm.
Um,
It's pretty bad.
yeah, it kind of sucks.
But do you feel that Andy Dalton is your franchise QB? Do you feel like he's the future of the Bengals, or do you feel that in the near future you guys may have to draft somebody to replace him?
I don't think we have to draft anybody. I think you give AJ McCarron a shot
Yeah.
um, before you let him go.
Hmm.
'Cause that's what it's looking like right now. Um, I just don't know about Dalton, man. I will say this: Dalton had a hell of a year this year. A
Yeah.
hell of a year. He had, I believe, it was 25 touchdowns and just 6 or 7 interceptions
Yeah.
before he went down. He's one of the top QBs this year before he got injured.
Hmm.
Um, it sucks, but I mean, no use crying over spilled milk. He did had a good year this year, but question is, can he win the playoffs? So he couldn't find out this year. Next year, can we find out? I don't know. We have a tough schedule. It all depends what happens.
Yeah. But out of your franchise, who do you feel is the best quarterback in the Bengals history?
Ooh,
Even counting way before your fanhood even started.
it's got to be a tie. I gotta go with Esiason and
Oh
Anderson,
yeah, those two right there. Yep. Two.
the Super Bowl quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I
Just
I gotta go with them.
just it's
I
just a
got
shame though that you guys fell up short in those. Those are close ones too against the Niners. It just you guys couldn't get over the hump.
yeah. Well, the first one we were getting destroyed, and then we finally started playing in the second half.
Yeah.
But in the second one, we had it. You know, we had the game and everything. And I actually, one of my football coaches in high school played on the team in that Super Bowl. So, you know, I mean, we heard about it every day in practice. He'd like, oh, if we did this, we did that, I would have been a Super Bowl champion. I wouldn't be here right now.
Wow.
So I heard it for years. I heard it for 4 years, every day.
Yeah. I mean, the Bengals. Those were the good. I mean, those were the good years for the Bengals. They were a good team. They would get to the Super Bowl that time. They get passed over the hump. They just got to learn how to like. It's just that they just got to learn how to win a playoff game as a team. It seems. It was kind
Exactly.
of ironic
They
though.
don't.
Looking at that game, you guys fumbled and gave the Steelers a chance to win the game, and they won it. Then the Steelers did it the
Yeah.
next week against the Broncos. That was ironic right there.
For
That's kind of
me,
fun.
I'm sorry. People are going to be so mad when I say this. Steeler fans are, but I really don't care at this point. Both teams are out.
Yeah,
It happens. But to me, that was pure justice in my eyes.
yeah,
Um, I hate saying this, but the refs were very, very flaggy in our game for both teams.
yeah,
They threw a flag every time they looked at each other weird. I mean, it's football. What happened to the concept of football?
yeah.
Now it's turned into the two-hand touch league.
The one flag on the last drive when they got him near the field goal range, it kind of felt like it wasn't a flag to me. It just felt like he was just making a play. But you knew they were going to call that because of the whole.
Yeah.
But I
And they
mean,
were going to call the Porter flag, and
yeah,
and what they should have done is they should have called a flag on both him and Pac-Man, and they should have offset. But I'm not going to cry over spilled milk. We lost. It was a great game. It was a great comeback. We just can't get the job done, and that's what happened. Jeremy Hill fucked it all up, in my opinion, fumbling the football. Why not go down instead of trying to run through two guys that got your legs locked? Why not go to the ground
yeah.
instead of trying to run some more? It's ridiculous. It's stupid. You learn that in Pee Wee football. It's
Do you
crap.
feel that in that game when Ben Roethlisberger went down, your fans were throwing stuff at him, trash at him? Do you feel like it was kind of karma in a way that they ended up coming back and winning?
I always get that fan question. Damn you, Ogden. Um, but I mean, yes and no. I knew that wasn't going to take Ben Roethlisberger out. We've all seen Ben play hurt. We've all seen it many a
Yeah.
times. He's won games hurt,
Hmm.
and that game was no exception. Um, I don't know. I mean, it's whatever right now. I mean, it was a couple weeks ago, and shit happens. People try to make it look like. But here's the thing, man. Everybody's coming to the Bengal fan base, and I wanted to get this out a couple weeks ago. Everybody comes after the Bengal fan base because they get caught on national television.
Yeah,
That's fine. But don't tell me your fan base doesn't do the same damn thing.
exactly.
Cleveland Browns a couple years ago were throwing beer bottles at the
Oh
referees,
yeah,
and remember they had to end the game
yeah,
early.
because of that whole. Yeah,
So don't be coming at me saying my fan base is trash when look at your team. Look at your team's fan base. Just because ours got caught nationally televised,
yeah.
you poke at us.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Look at yourself in the mirror.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. To be honest with you, I feel like the Steelers fan base is way more classless than you guys. I mean, it's
I mean, I got friends that are Steeler fans and everything, so I'll agree to that. But
some,
there are
yeah. I mean,
yeah
some,
there are some that
yeah.
are respectable, and we know a few of them. So, um, but yeah, just that rivalry, man. I mean, when you go to Pittsburgh for a game, they're not nice to you.
No. Yeah, man.
They talk crap to you. They say everything under God's green earth, man. They say everything to you.
Yeah. I feel.
Everything under the sun, man.
Hmm. Yeah, it like they act nice to you when like it's not a game or anything, but when it's like a game, it all goes down the drain. Like all that kindness and stuff,
Yeah,
way different thing. But yeah,
yeah. And, people are just like, oh, your team's family is disrespectful. Really? Okay. Yeah. Go to Pittsburgh, and I dare you go to one of their ushers and say someone's picking on me. They'll look at you and say, "Too bad. Get over it. Sit down. You're in our house."
yeah.
And that's my personal opinion on it.
Hmm. But looking at the NFL, we have some good quarterbacks in the NFL. What name can you name some that are like just think that don't have that touch, that ain't that good in the NFL?
Johnny Menzo.
Oh yeah, Johnny. Do you feel that Manziel's never going to find another uh, job in the NFL?
You see, I don't know. Jerry Jones, he loves woman beaters.
Yeah,
So,
and he loves a lot of people cause a lot of drama in the NFL. So
yeah. Um,
he may end up pulling the trigger and rolling the dice on him.
Probably. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. Um, you they said that Dallas has stopped talks to try to get Manziel, which is bullshit. We all know Jerry Jones going to try to go for him. That guy doesn't deserve to play in the NFL no more. He's just like Ray Rice. Ray Rice doesn't deserve to play anymore. Um, and the guy that the Cowboys got now, I don't know if they still have him. Um, I
Who,
believe it's
Greg Hardy?
Hardy, correct?
Greg Hardy? Yeah, Greg Hardy.
Yeah. He don't deserve to play in the NFL either.
I thought they were getting rid of him anyways, though.
Well, if they do, it's the best thing he ever did. But I mean,
Dude, it'd be ironic if they end up having Manziel with domestic, and then they end up signing Ray Rice, and then they end up getting Michael Vick as a free agent. Like they would get
oh
all the people who
Lord.
cause a lot of drama. That doesn't surprise me what the Cowboys do. I mean what they
But at
do.
least Michael Vick, after
Yeah,
it happened, he went
he
quiet
learned.
and nothing's really been said since. Um,
Yeah,
but
you got people,
it's what
but when you
happens.
got people like Johnny Manziel, a lot of people say, "Oh, he's just doing that so he can get out of Cleveland." To me, it looks like he's not even. He's just doing it because he wants to do it.
No, he's always. People say, "Oh, he parties and wants to get out of Cleveland." No, he's been partying ever since he was in college. He's doing it way before. Hell, even way before that.
Yeah.
The
Well,
guy can't admit he has a drinking problem. He can't admit he has a drug problem. He can't admit anything.
yeah, he's just the way. I think he's probably the most overrated quarterback of all time. Maybe he's out. He has to be up there with
Yeah.
Ryan to me. But
I mean, he's had some good games in the NFL, but no, there's no way. I don't see anybody picking him up except for Jerry. When Jerry does, it's gonna be nothing.
so we went on to the bad quarterback. What QB do you feel like is the best quarterback in the NFL? That's a tough one right there to me.
Man, um, can't believe I'm gonna say this. I got top three. I got Cam Newton, Tom Brady, and Carson Palmer.
Wow, that's
Uh,
huge.
Carson Palmer had a good year this year in Arizona. I loved that they got killed against North Carolina, but that's
Yeah.
beside the point. Um, but yeah, those are my top three, man. I can't choose one out of those.
Yeah. Well, looking at the AFC side, you always see somebody new from the NFC side in the Super Bowl. But AFC, it's always been either whatever team Peyton Manning plays for, Steelers and Patriots, and then you had the Ravens in 1 year. Do you feel like the AFC has less competition than the NFC?
That's a good question. Um, yeah, I could agree with that. You know, it does get predictable on the AFC side every year.
Yeah.
It gets kind of boring. It gets kind of, you know, kind of stupid. And, you know, I'm just glad after this year we won't see a Peyton Manning versus Tom Brady in the AFC Championship game ever again.
Yeah.
Because that game was boring.
Yeah, it was. I agree. I mean, AFC's like pretty much like you see the Patriots get in the playoffs, you know they're going to get to the AFC Championship game. No one, it seems like no team can stop them. I don't know why. I don't know why that's the case. I don't know why teams can't step up when they face them and play their very best. Like you look at the Kansas City Chiefs against them the week before the AFC Championship game. I mean, the Chiefs pretty much wasted so much time on the clock. They could have tied the game up.
Exactly.
And they,
Terrible, terrible, terrible coaching.
and
Just,
then the week before, they pretty much killed the Texans, and they couldn't come out with the same mentality against the Patriots.
man, but here's the thing, man. Texans, I think, got lucky.
Yeah,
They got lucky. And, the Colts weren't good this year. Andrew Luck, I don't know what the heck happened with him. I know he got injured and everything, but even before that, he was playing like crap.
yeah,
Um, so I mean, the Houston shouldn't have even been in there. That's my honest opinion. They shouldn't have even been in there.
hmm, yeah. So on to the next question is, what other sports do you like to watch?
I watch hockey, even though my hockey team sucks. Um, I watch NBA. I grew up in the '90s, so I was a big Chicago Bulls fan, and still am to this day. Um, I hate the Cleveland Cavaliers. I don't care what anybody says. Cleveland Cavaliers suck. LeBron James is a queen. Just saying. Um, and also I watch soccer from time to time. Um, and that's pretty much about it. Well, of course, baseball. I mean, I grew up in Cincinnati, so um, I watched the Reds. I watched the Reds and the Red Sox, so
Yeah,
um, kind of torn between those two.
yeah. So, who's your pick for tomorrow in the Super Bowl? Broncos or Panthers?
Man, I really don't care about who wins. I just want it to be a good game. But if I had to choose, it had to be Carolina.
Yeah,
I want to see Carolina win one. I want to see, Cam Newton have his spotlight because I think this year he's deserved it. And I think they could do it. Um, although there's the other side. It's Peyton Manning's last year.
yeah. Well,
Do you want to see him go on top? Yeah, that's the thing. Same thing with what happened with Ray Lewis.
the big,
Do you want to see him go on top, or do you
it
not?
seems like the big name players, like you got Ray Lewis, Jerome Bettis, they seem to be favored every year. It seems like every time that happens, when someone who's a big caliber player retires, says they're going to retire the next year after this game, they always end up winning. It seems.
Yeah.
That could be running through Peyton Manning, or the Panthers just could come out and just dominate them and make sure they don't win.
Yeah, like Seattle did. That
Yeah,
Super Bowl, holy crap. I've never seen Peyton Manning that bad.
I think
Well, until this year.
Seattle really did. They wanted to make sure they won that because they really felt they got screwed over in the last Super Bowl. So they wanted to make sure
Yeah.
nothing like that ended up happening and refs called bad calls. So they just wanted to come out there and just dominate them, and that's what they did. But yeah, so it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a pretty interesting Super Bowl. I feel like it's gonna be a close one, maybe.
Oh, yeah. No doubt, without a doubt.
But looking at these Super Bowls, do you feel like there will ever be a Super Bowl? I mean, we're talking about blowouts and stuff. Do you feel like there's ever going to be a Super Bowl where one team doesn't score?
I thought that was going to happen in the Denver
Seattle game.
Seattle game.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, we've come close a few times. Baltimore and New York.
yeah,
Baltimore was up 34-0, and New York ran a kick return back for a touchdown. That's the only touchdown they had the whole game.
yeah.
Um, I mean, I'd like to see it happen, but it probably won't.
And then also, do you see ever seeing a Super Bowl being overtime?
It will happen, but
I don't
we
think.
don't know
I
when.
don't. I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow.
No, 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 no.
I think it's going to be. It's just going to be like they're both going to score. It's going to be points where they can't have it be a tie.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what it's going to be. But yeah, I mean, we're about to wrap this interview up, but I mean, it's pretty impressive though. Looking at the viewers right now, 6 viewers. People really, I feel like people really like you on here. They like to see what you got to say. So
Oh, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I really don't care. It's whatever.
yeah. So before we wrap this interview up, is there any good memories you like to bring back from the TTC I mentioned?
Let's see. Um, Probably the time me and Gravy went at it a couple of years ago. That was really good. Um, I mean, this past year when I did the whole editing thing for Jeff, which
Yeah,
was hilarious. Um, and also owning RHE.
yeah. Everybody known him. I remember what was it like? What was it last year? Remember that whole TTC anonymous thing? He wanted to know so badly who it was, and then like he's like, "Oh fuck it, I'll just say I'm TTC anonymous." And then that's when
And
I
he
really,
spelled it wrong.
yeah, he spelled it wrong, and then I just slapped the fuck out of him and said, "No, you're not TTC anonymous." I was fucking. The funny thing is, I pretty much point him in the wrong direction. I was like, "Yeah, it was me the whole time," and then he was like, "I was like, yeah, this is this guy right here," and he didn't even know it was me.
Exactly.
He's like, "Oh, you want to team with me?"
Same thing I did. Yeah, same thing I did. I with the whole
Yeah,
thing that happened in the summer and everything when I finally revealed um, what who really was behind it all.
yep,
Um, but there's a lot of other memories, that I can't really remember. I've had a lot of fun in here. There's a lot of people that I didn't get the trash talk that I wanted to, like Joe Rock, Falcons for Life, um, even Uncle Lou. I
yeah,
never got the trash Uncle Lou.
yeah,
Um, you know, of course, there's Simus, D-Town, T-Spence, but I might be able to trash those guys
yeah,
for the Dallas game.
yeah,
Of course, there's a lot of Giants video makers, Bones NYG, um, Bad Dog. There's a guy that just came back. I forget his YouTube name. He just came back after being gone for 5 years. Um, there's a lot of people I can get the trash with that it sucks, but at the same time, hey, it's cool and everything. We all know who each other is
Yeah.
and whatnot. So
All right. So we got one. I got
I never
one.
got to trash you either.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy. We never got to trash each other. That would have been pretty epic, I think.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, it happens. It is what it is. I mean, our teams don't play each other every 4 years, so it's highly unlikely.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Very rare.
very rare that it happens unless by some means we both go to the Super Bowl, which is very, very impossible right there because it just seems
Yeah.
impossible.
I got to win a playoff game first
Yeah,
before I
we
think about any Super
Super
Bowl.
Bowl, yep. But yeah, before we wrap this interview up, I got one more question. Since you're like semi-retired, pretty much retired from the TTC, is there any advice you would like to give people who want to join the TTC, who don't know much about it, but is there any advice you would like to give them in their rookie year for the next year?
Um, Advice I give you: don't take things too seriously.
Yeah,
We all joke on here. This isn't a real life thing. Don't take it as real life. Uh, because if you do, you're gonna get picked on even more.
yeah,
Um, don't swell up when people talk shit to you. It's gonna happen whether you like it or not. It's TTC.
yep,
It's what we do here. Um, because there's a couple people that would swell up at me when I would go at them and talk shit about their team. I'm like, look, you're a rookie. You get used to it.
yeah,
Um, and that's what I did, man. I went after rookies and had them earn their spot, so to speak. Um, but it happens, and
yeah,
yeah, just don't take it too seriously.
yeah.
It's just for fun. We all do this as a hobby.
Taking it too seriously is just going to be like you're not going to last long in the TTC if you take it too seriously. You're pretty much going to be out because you're not going to be able to
Yeah,
handle the heat.
yeah. There's been a couple people that have came in the off season, and
Thought they were
by
going
season they're gone.
to. I mean, you look at the
They can't
caliber.
handle it.
I guess you had somebody in the TTC from the Seahawks fan base. His name was 24/7 Seahawks. I don't know if you know him, but he was once Rookie of the Year a couple years ago, and now like 1 year later, he's ghost.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess TTC's not for everybody. So it's just what it is.
No, no, it's not at all. That's the way it goes, and people can get upset and everything, but we're just doing this shit for fun. I don't know why people get so upset and butthurt. It's not real.
Yeah.
It's not real life. Get over it.
But yeah, but we're about to wrap this interview up. Is there any last thing you'd like to add? Any last words?
Yes, there is. I won an award. Get over it. I waited 7 years. Okay? So you can get over yourself because I really don't care. Um, I won. That happens. Get over it. It's not even real.
Exactly. I agree with you 100%. Not real at all. And it doesn't matter who wins or who doesn't. I mean, if you're nominated for that award, you won it, you earned it, and I don't see why people should complain about it. They had a chance to vote who they wanted to. They could have made an impact, but that's just what it is. But
Yeah. Oh, by the way, before I leave here, I'm seeing the chat right now. I just wanted to say, I think it's Kane Shades Unc Nasty asked me, "What's my favorite college team?" Uh, Man, I gotta go with the Kentucky Wildcats, even though they suck in football. But all sports, it's Kentucky. I don't have one team for one sport. It's all one team. And Danny, shut up, you moron.
It was pretty good that Danny didn't get involved much in the award show. I could tell.
Yeah, he freaking ruined what he did do. Freaking moron.
Yeah, but
But I want to thank everybody that watched this.
yeah, 6 people now, so
I'm surprised that it's
yeah,
gotten to 6 people.
yeah,
Uh,
6 people.
and a
Wow.
few more. I'd like to thank everybody that watched it, of course. I don't know why you want to watch me for, but I thank you. Uh, Danny, you didn't do anything. Shut the hell up.
Danny's
You fucked up everything, Danny. Shut up.
wow.
Sorry, he's talking in the comments, people. I'm not talking to myself.
Wow. Yeah. Well, it was a pretty fun time interviewing you. Long awaited, finally over now. 2 years
Yeah,
to make
through 2 years.
build up was big. Hopefully everybody was
Yeah.
anticipating, and then hopefully everybody enjoyed this interview.
Yeah, the leader of Bengals Army. Well, still leader. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Um, wants to thank you for finally letting me on this show.
Yep.
Of course, I'd love to do it again. Maybe we do an AFC North thing. I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know.
that's
I
what
don't know
we've
what
been doing
everybody
and
else is doing.
trying to build towards. We got to just find out a perfect date to when to do it. I mean, a lot of people have a lot of stuff to do, like they got jobs and they have to get to work. So when that
Exactly.
is. I mean, we just got to find a perfect time, free time for everybody when everybody's available, and that's the perfect time to do it. But I mean,
Exactly.
we love to welcome you back on the show for a part two, possibly, and then that would be pretty interesting too. So maybe we would get more viewers on this too. So you never know. But that's pretty much about
I'm surprised you got this much.
yeah. That's pretty much about it though. This is Matt Ogden and A Train, and this interview has been concluded.